Box of shoes. Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Poppy Shulo channel. My name is Chris, and today we have another unboxing of candidates for restoration. 4 pairs in here. One definitely grail level. But let's just get into it. So my landlord had opened the box by mistake. He couldn't care less about sneakers, so I am certain that it was a mistake. But he opened it and he realized it wasn't his. He signed for it, so it's fine. So that's why it's kind of already open. But I haven't gone in here yet, so I'm gonna do it now. All right. There's a pair. All right, let's start with the Crayfish. These are the Nike SB Dunk Low Crayfish. This is a 2014 release. That would make it a teal box. There was a special box version of these as well. These are size 11s. This right here is the authentication service that they provide when I purchase them. I don't like the way they look though. So I'm just gonna make sure that I keep them in with the shoes, but I think they're ugly. But it's got information on here that someone can use to look up the authentication. Now let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so an interesting thing about this pair of shoes is that the seller put these aftermarket protection on here. And in order for me to remove it, I'm assuming that it's glued on. Probably not glued on all that great either, but in order for me to remove it, I'm sure that I'm gonna need to apply heat first, and then I'm gonna have to clean it off with some kind of solvent, probably acetone. Only time I ever use acetone is when it's on rubber, and only rubber. If the rubber has any paint on it, acrylic paint or anything on it, no, okay? So I think it's gonna be safe to do it for this. I do not want to get the acetone in here though. If I get the acetone in here, then I risk, I'm doing a reglue on these, so this doesn't matter, but just in general, okay, if you were doing this, you wouldn't want to get acetone in here because the acetone would start to remove the Phylon plate from the outsole, which this is already doing anyway. So, all right, so that's got to be removed, right? But check this out. I mean, we got pretty much all stars. You know what I'm saying? And we have some heel drag, but these protectors actually worked. I mean, I can see that it was worn off here. Okay, and that did actually protect this rubber from being worn, which is pretty cool. If you want to protect your outsoles, like this is the situation in which you would do that. If you were going to try to resell them and you wanted the outsoles to still be in better condition, basically you're giving your outsoles an extra layer of tread. I don't know what it's like to walk in these. Maybe I'll try at some point, but I can see that there's a chance that whoever was wearing these would have been tripping. Know what I mean? Anyway, I need some better light in here. This is a new studio setup that I got going on, and I think that I'm well lit, but I can't see very well what I'm looking at, so I need to figure something out here. All right, this is gonna work really well for me for these overhead shots. I'll figure something out for the future so that there's not like a light in my face and a light on the screen. But right now, I think this will work. So the shoe itself, it needs a cleaning for sure. The suede needs a cleaning, but it's not too bad. I have seen worse. You really need to be careful on these crawfish when it comes to this back piece here, because it is just like it's almost like a coating, like a candy coating, I guess. I've broken it before, okay? It's like a coating that you need to be really careful about to not break. So be very careful on the back part of these crawfish when you're cleaning them on this this collar piece here, okay? Because it is very delicate. I do have a size 11 shoe last, and hopefully that shoe last is going to help get a lot of this creasing out. Though I'm not 100% sure about this stain here. We will see, okay? But here is the issue, guys, and I'm gonna make a different video about it, just specifically about this shoe, because it just keeps coming up so often. No disrespect, but please stop gluing your shoes if you don't know what you're doing. No disrespect. I know why you're doing it. You love your shoes and da-da-da. But, and if you're doing it the way they did it when they were skating these shoes, then I don't care. It's fine, okay? But these weren't skate shoes. These are, you know, fashion shoes mostly. And when people glue them, they almost always, unless they have had experience with it, they almost always look terrible. Now I know I made a video that has like how to patch up glue, okay? I made that short video in the early ages of this whole restoration thing. I don't do that anymore, okay? I keep the video up because, you know, it keeps attention to the channel and all that stuff, but I do not do that anymore. If somebody needs a glue job, I tell them I do full or not at all. I don't do patch jobs, okay? Because a patch job essentially could lead to this. I patch up one part, but then another part separates later. Then they want to patch that one up. And then another part separates later and they want to patch that one up. Okay? It's like in the old cartoons where there's a leak in a pipe or something and they stick their finger in it, right? And they got the leak and then ping, it sprouts somewhere else, and then they go over there and then ping, and they only have two hands and they're like, what's going on here, bro? Was that too much? Anyway, please stop. Just learn how to do it the right way. Do it all the way, okay? Or send it to someone that knows how to do it the right way. A patch job is not gonna work. So anyway, we have a lot of visible glue here from somebody trying to glue this. It's worse on this side, okay? You see it right there. Just stop. So, you know, I definitely have to do reglue on these. This is a great reglue candidate though, because the outsoles are still in good shape. Okay, so I love it. If I'm doing a reglue and the outsoles are in bad shape, it just doesn't feel good. I mean, I'm doing all this work to put like a very worn outsole back on a shoe. That's why I'd rather do a sole swap in that situation. But in this situation, the outsole is still in great condition. This is perfect for just a reglue. Still have air in our air unit here. There is no tearing on the collar lining, which is great. Yeah, so for these, I believe it's just going to be a deep clean and a reglue. And obviously remove this, whatever this cool thing is. Let me take a look at the other one just to see if I didn't miss anything. You can see what I'm talking about here when I'm telling you that this yellow material is very delicate. Yeah, it's pretty much gone here. All right. So I'm just telling you now, just be very careful when you're cleaning it, okay? You don't want to get too rough with it. It's not like a regular material. It's very, very delicate and strange. All the same other stuff applies to this one, but I did want to mention the discoloration of this midsole. This is not the medieval times, right? Once I remove the outsole and clean it all up, I will whiten it a little bit, okay? I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna expect it to be super white. And the other thing is that the shoe is still, the upper is still worn, so I don't want it to look like starkly different than the upper. I still want it to kind of match a little bit, but I will do a UV whitening for it as well. All right, Nike SB Dunk Low Crayfish, size 11. You did not have to keep that bag. I appreciate it, but it wasn't necessary. All right, as you can see, these were also authenticated, and same deal with these. I'm going to remove those things and just include them for the new customer, whoever he or she may be, for sheezy. This is Nike SB Dunk High Black Sheep. Now, Black Sheep has done collaborations. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can kind of actually see it. What do you think of that? Yeah. All right. So Black Sheep has done like a lot of collabs with Nike SB. This is my favorite, I think, just because of the name. I mean, if you look at the shoes, they're not like especially all that special. They are different, okay, in terms of other stuff that is released, especially, you know, I love a nice gray Dunk High or Jordan High. That's part of why I love the Pee Wee Herman High so much. There was an album that came out when I was in 6th grade, because I'm super old, by a hip-hop group called Black Sheep, and the album, which I had on tape, was called A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. And I listened to the album out. I wore it out, okay? And then finally when CDs came out, okay, because that was a thing, I didn't get my first CD player until I was 13. Yes, I am old. I bought it on CD and again, played it out. So probably if we played that album right now, I would still know every word, even though I haven't heard it in years. So that's why I love this particular shoe. But, you know, it's called A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing because it's sort of supposed to look like sheep, you know, and then you have the red and black outsole and the insoles that have like the face that make it, you know, wolfy. So again, I'm gonna take these off because I hate them. And then we're gonna go ahead and do an inspection here. All right, so first things first is the shoe is supposed to be gray and this shoe is brown. Okay, so it's definitely gonna need a lot of deep cleaning. And the thing about gray shoes when they get dirty, gray suede when they get dirty is like, there's not a whole lot of hope. Don't have all this hope that you're gonna be able to actually get it back to its original gray. There's always gonna be a little brown there. And it's cool. You're going to be cool with it because you wear it on your feet and you're going to love it. Just talking about the insole, now I got to grab it. We still have air in the Zoom Air unit, which I expect. This is not like that old of a release. This is a 2017 pair. You know, it's less than 10 years old. I expect there to be air. There's one of the wolf eyes, okay? If you don't know, now you know, and then I'll show you the other wolf eye, and then you'd be like, cool. Boom. There's your wolf eyes. Just imagine them together and forget about this space here, okay? Yeah, but we're looking good as far as the Zoom Air units go. Also, don't expect separation on these because they're not really that old, so we're gonna go ahead and check that. Yeah, we're looking good. I don't see any separation. Made kind of a crackling noise I didn't love, but there was no separation there. Which is great. Now let's go ahead and look at the wear here. I'm seeing most stars. I see all stars over here on this side. Okay. Once we get over here, we're bald right about here, and that's it though. You know, so I would say that we have, if this is 100% stars, I would say we have 80%. I'd say 80% stars with confidence. Okay, and then as far as heel drag goes, I mean, there is some, but I think it's pretty negligible. You know, I would mention it, but it's almost nothing. Okay, so the outsole's on. The laces are looking pretty clean. Insoles look good. You know, when I buy these, I don't get the box usually because it's more expensive to ship anyway. But a lot of these pairs, people that wear their shoes, they don't usually have the box. You know, that's just the truth. You know, they don't care, and I'm one of those people, to be honest with you. So I don't really care if I'm buying a shoe if it has the box or not. But that's a conversation for another time because I do have an alternative to the no box situation that you may or may not like. But speaking for this, it needs a deep clean. It needs a suede deep clean, but that's it. Then it's, you know, show ready because there's really nothing else wrong with it. There's no damage to anything. There's no, you know, the collar lining is fine. The glue is fine. There's you know, an okay amount of wear. I mean, these are looking good. So these just need a deep clean, and then they're ready to get on the shelves, as they say. So that's what I'm gonna do with them. All right, Nike SB Dunk High, Black Sheep, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Great album. I don't know if I should like recommend it though, because it might be like super dated to many listeners and viewers. But for me, if I listen to it, I'm down. Okay, I am down. All right, so this is the 2019 Teal Box release, the Dog Walker, Nike SB Dunk High Dog Walker. I say Teal Box release, but this is another one that has a special box, if you were so inclined, that has like a poop bag that has laces in it. I mean, that's cool, but it's kind of weird too. But I do love the design of these shoes. I do absolutely love the design. So what we're looking at here is, you can go ahead and give it some light. What we're looking at here is real suede, okay? But this material, this fur material, is very specific. They make this fur material for blankies and stuff for babies. Okay, if you wanted to go to Joann's and like find this kind of material, the only thing is that for shoemaking they apply much more rigid backing to it in order to actually make it applicable for shoes. But you could definitely find this kind of material at a in the baby section of the baby fabrics at a Joann's fabric store. Okay, and that applies to the spots, that applies to the collar here. Okay, and that applies to the toe, to the vamp. Okay, is really what this is called. This is called a rand. This is called a vamp. Okay, the unfortunate thing about that material, it's synthetic material. Once the fur is gone, it's gone. Okay, there's no getting that fur back, and that is very typical for this pair, especially on the tongue. They put it on the tongue. You have the tension of the laces on the tongue, right? And then you start to get bald spots where there used to be fur. Okay, and that's exactly what happened here, and that is super common. If you have a used pair of these, that's what's going to happen. If you have a DS pair of these, it's going to happen eventually. So, you know, we're just going to accept that. We're just going to enjoy these while they're here on this earth. Now, this is a 2019 release. During the recording, this is 2025. I do not expect there to be any separation. It's too new, so we're going to check and see. I don't see any. I see some glue here, but this is factory glue right there. Okay. These are mass produced. Okay, they glue them and then they smash them together with those presses. That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen a lot. Okay, so that's fine. My opinion, these are just looking a little bit worn. The uppers, they need to be cleaned carefully, because like I said, that fur does, once it's gone, it's gone. So, you know, you be gentle with the fur. Honestly, you know, as I'm saying that, I don't think I've touched the fur. The fur is not dirty. What looks dirty or dingy is the suede. So I would just clean the suede dry. I wouldn't even get soap anywhere on this upper. Let's look at the wear on the outsole there. I'm seeing all the stars. There's wear here, okay, but I'm still seeing all the stars. So that's great. So they're all there. They're just, you know, they're wearing here a little bit. And there is pretty decent amount of drag there, but nothing crazy. I'm actually surprised, why I'm saying that, I'm actually surprised that there's this much drag there, considering that the stars are still, you know, all here. So this person kind of walked on their heels a little bit more. Just checking the other pair to see if there's anything worth noting. Collar lining is intact. We have the OG insoles, and they are also intact, which is great. They are adorable. Zoom Air units are fine, which I highly expect, considering this is not an old pair of shoes. Yeah, so this is gonna be just like the Black Sheeps. We're gonna do a cleaning, and we're gonna call it a dog day afternoon. Nike SB Dunk High. Dog Walker. Size 9.5 if you're interested. All right, and last, but definitely not least, one of my grails, which I was lucky enough to own for a little while after I did a sole swap on a meat pair, which there are videos of if you want to check. There's 2 videos of how I fixed the paint, and on how I did a sole swap. Boom. Boom. You know what? They're kind of pushed in, but as soon as I put my hand in there, they seem to be a lot better. Okay, so this is 2007 gold box release, Nike SB Dunk High. We call this Jason Voorhees. I think the idea behind this design was that you look at their like varsity or college color Nike Dunk Highs that were released in '85. We could pretend that like this was one of those colors, but whoever wore it was murdering people and got blood on the front. I mean, take better your shoes. Like, murder all you want, but you know, don't get blood all over your shoes. Like, you know, do little footy things that Mark Wahlberg used in The Departed. Okay? Alright, so let's take a look. These are size 10, and I know that they're gonna need some work for sure. First thing we're gonna do is remove these thingies, because I don't like the thingies. You guys know I don't like the thingies. Hey, it appears as though we have the OG Kevlar laces. You never know if you're getting the OG laces on most shoes if they're just the same color, okay? But this is kind of a cool sign for this era, these Kevlar laces, because they say Kevlar on the tip, and there it is, a groove slightly transformed. Okay, so let's look at the wear here. We're about maybe, I would say 40 to 50%, I think is a fair say, okay? Because we're bald on the edges here, we're bald on the edges here, but we have stars going all the way through here. I can see stars here, and then we have stars on the tip. I'd say 50. I think 50 is fair. We got a 50%. And then we do have a pretty decent amount of heel drag. The heel drag, you're actually showing some of the white rubber on. Now that doesn't always mean that it's like really worn down. The red or the bottom color is not always as thick in all the spots as in other spots. So I never really consider that to be like, oh my God, it's all the way down to the white. Because you can see here that it's not all the way down to the white. You know, not by a long shot. It's just, that just so happens to be where the white starts there. Now I know we're gonna be doing a reglue on these, which is expected. These came out 2007. The year is 2025. They are 18 years old. The shelf life of cement glue for shoes is like 10 to 15 years. You know, just about. So yeah, we're there. No big deal though. This is still another reglue candidate. I can do this as a reglue candidate instead of doing a sole swap, because there's still plenty of life left in this outsole, and there really is. I showed it to you. I'm not just saying it because I'm trying to sell these. You know what I mean? Now I know that the seller told me about a reglue situation that they tried. I am willing to bet that there's no air left in the Zoom Air unit. Let's see. Wow, and I am pleasantly surprised that there is. I am going to reglue this because the glue is dead for sure, okay? So I'm gonna reglue this back on there, but there's air. That's great. That's great. Looks like the top layer is peeled back a little bit, but that's okay. Might be able to fix that. That's a little iron and some spray glue. Won't fix. The collar lining looks good. And you know, the upper looks good, man. I mean, I know that you're looking at the shape, and I agree with you. The shape is something that needs to be addressed, but I have a size 10 Nike SB Dunk Last. So put that in there, just leave it in there for a day, and that shape's coming back, man. So I'm not really worried about it. It's pretty clean, otherwise. All right, let's see where this glue thing was. Okay, is it here? You know, I don't really see what he meant. I guess maybe he meant here. I want to try to feel on the outside to see if I can feel any glue that isn't where it's supposed to be. I mean, I don't really see it. I see glue here, but I think that that's factory. And if it isn't, it was neat, whatever it was. Whoever did that patch job, but like I said, they did a patch. If they did a patch job there, it obviously didn't work. So yeah, so we need to do a reglue, but that is fine. I will clean these outsoles. I don't know if I am in love with the idea of whitening these outsoles, unless I think that they're super dirty. Once I get, you know, clean up the upper, I might a little bit, but I don't know if I'm in love with that idea after I clean them, because I do like the off-white yellowish kind of look on this shoe in particular, especially considering it's almost 20 years old. No rip in the collar lining. Let's see if this Zoom Air unit is Zoom Air Unity. It is. All right, so all I got to do is reglue that on there. And the insole looks to be in good shape too. All right, so I have the, you know, I don't have the box, but I have the OG insoles. They have air in them. I have the OG white laces, which is awesome. And they're in good shape too. The aglets are there. We need to do a deep clean and a reglue, and we're in good shape, man. This is going to be a good sale for me. Right before my trip to Puerto Rico, this is going to be a good sale. So I'm looking forward to that. Nike SB Dunk High, Jason Voorhees. Let's get everybody out. Crayfish, size 11. Black Sheep, size 10. Dog Walker, size 9.5. Jason Voorhees, size 10. Very excited about these. Very excited to get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, I was getting started, so you know, I'm gonna actually just go ahead and get started. So see y'all later.